Welcome to the School of the Lost Tribes. Your charity helps generate the lessons needed to seal the chosen before the destruction. Isaiah chapter 56 is not just an interesting chapter for you to study. It's a warning and a preview of the world you are about to live in. The Most High is not giving you poetry. He is preparing your mind for prophecy that will become your reality. This chapter lays out how he will deal with Israel, how he will deal with strangers, and how he will set order in the earth under his covenant. In Isaiah 56, Yahweh speaks about those who keep his judgments and do justice, who keep his Sabbaths from polluting them, and who take hold of his covenant. That's not talking about church people. That's talking about you, the scattered children of Israel waking up in the last days. He even talks about eunuchs and strangers, showing you that he already has a structure for who belongs where, who will serve, and how they will be accepted if they submit. When he says his house will be a house of prayer for all people, that does not mean everyone becomes Israel. It means all nations will come under Israel's God and Israel's rule, or be cut off. This chapter also shows you that while Yahweh is gathering the outcasts of Israel, he is at the same time exposing corrupt leaders, blind watchmen, greedy shepherds, men who care more about gain than about your soul. That's why Isaiah 56 matters for you right now. It explains why so much of what you see in religion is dead, and why the Most High is pulling you out of that and training you for something higher. He's getting your mind ready to understand that in the kingdom, you will not be a church member. You will be part of the ruling nation. So when you open Isaiah 56, don't read it like ancient history. Read it like a blueprint of how the world will look when Yahweh sets Israel back in their place and brings the nations into submission under his covenant. This chapter is an introduction to your future, your role, your order, your authority, and the way the Most High expects you to think in the days ahead. Isaiah 56:1. Thus saith the Lord, keep ye judgment, and do justice, for my salvation is near to come, and my righteousness to be revealed. Explanation. Yahweh speaks first to Israel, not the nations. He commands them to maintain righteous judgment and justice because his saving work for his people is drawing near. My salvation and my righteousness are covenant realities, the deliverance and restoration of Israel, and the revealing of his righteousness through Yahweh Shai, and the regathering of the tribes. This is a warning to Israel in the last days. Clean up your judgment and your justice before the kingdom manifests. Isaiah 56 verse 2. Blessed is the man that doeth this, and the Son of Man that layeth hold on it, that keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it, and keepeth his hand from doing any evil. Explanation. Blessing is tied to obedience, not just identity. The focus is still Israel because the Sabbath is a sign between Yahweh and the house of Israel. The blessed man is the Israelite and any servant joined under Israel's order, who guards the Sabbath from defilement and restrains his hand from evil. For the scattered tribes today, this is Yahweh reminding them. Returning to the covenant includes returning to Sabbath discipline and righteous conduct. Isaiah 56:3. Neither let the son of the stranger that hath joined himself to the Lord speak, saying, the Lord hath utterly separated me from his people. Neither let the eunuch say, behold, I am a dry tree. Explanation. Here, Yahweh addresses two classes, the son of the stranger, a non-Israelite who has joined himself to Yahweh through submission to Israel's God and Israel's covenant structure. The eunuch, cut off from physical seed, often excluded or limited under temple regulations. The stranger is not made an Israelite by blood. He remains of another nation, but is permitted to attach himself in service under Israel's authority. Yahweh tells such a stranger not to think he is totally cast off if he truly submits. Likewise, the eunuch is not to see himself as fruitless if he clings to the covenant. This is not universalism. It is ordered inclusion. Strangers may serve within the system of Israel's God, but Israel remains the chosen people. Isaiah 56:4. For thus saith the Lord unto the eunuchs that keep my Sabbaths, and choose the things that please me, and take hold of my covenant. Explanation. The Most High sets conditions. Not everyone is accepted. only those who keep his Sabbaths, choose what pleases him, and grip his covenant. Whether Israelite eunuch or servant eunuch under Israel's order, acceptance is tied to obedience, not emotion. For Israel, this shows that even those considered less by society can gain honor if they cling to Yahweh's covenant. Isaiah 56:5. Even unto them will I give in mine house and within my walls a place and a name better than of sons and of daughters. I will give them an everlasting name that shall not be cut off. Explanation. To the eunuchs, and by principle the fully submitted servants, Yahweh promises honor inside his house. Physically, they may have no children, no name carried on, but Yahweh gives them a memorial and a name that will not be cut off. For Israel, this speaks especially to those who feel broken, marginalized, or useless. Yahweh can place such ones in positions of eternal honor if they cling to his covenant. For non-Israelite servants, the everlasting name is linked to their association with Israel's God and Israel's kingdom. But Israel remains the root nation, the covenant people. Isaiah 56:6. Also, the sons of the stranger, that join themselves to the Lord, to serve him, and to love the name of the Lord, to be his servants, every one that keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it, and taketh hold of my covenant. Explanation. This is where your question about heathen Gentiles and servant condition is directly addressed. Sons of the stranger equals those of other nations by blood. They join themselves to the Lord through Israel's covenant order. Their role is clearly stated: to serve him, to be his servants. This is not equality with Israel in inheritance. It is servant participation under Israel's God and Israel's rule. They must love the name of Yahweh, keep the Sabbath from defilement, take hold of the covenant. So in the kingdom framework, Israel equals ruling nation, covenant heirs, priests. Sons of the stranger equals submitted servants allowed to worship, serve, and receive favor through Israel's God, but not replacing Israel. Isaiah 56:7. Even them will I bring to my holy mountain and make them joyful in my house of prayer. Their burnt offerings and their sacrifices shall be accepted upon mine altar, for mine house shall be called an house of prayer for all people. Explanation. Yahweh says that even these submitted strangers and eunuchs, those who meet his conditions, will be brought to his holy mountain and made joyful in his house of prayer. Their offerings, when properly ordered, will be accepted. When he says house of prayer for all people, this does not erase Israel's election. It means all people who come under Israel's God and Israel's covenant rule, whether Israelite by blood or stranger in servitude, will have access to prayer and worship in that ordained structure. All nations are not made equal covenant heirs. Rather, all peoples who submit to Israel's king and laws can worship in the system that Yahweh has established through Israel. Isaiah 56:8. The Lord God, which gathereth the outcasts of Israel, saith, Yet will I gather others to him, beside those that are gathered unto him. Explanation. Here the order is clear. Yahweh is gathering the outcasts of Israel. This is the main mission. The scattered tribes, the exiles, the dispersed descendants from the northern and southern kingdom. Then he says he will gather others to him, beside those Israelites already gathered. Those others include the repentant of Judah and Israel returning, and also the strangers who submit to Israel's God and Israel's order, who attach themselves as servants and worshipers. This again shows the center is Israel. The others are gathered to Israel's king, not Israel gathered to them. Isaiah 56:9. All ye beasts of the field come to devour, yea, all ye beasts in the forest. Explanation. Now the scene shifts to judgment. Beasts of the field and beasts in the forest can represent predatory nations or judgment forces the Most High uses to punish Israel and corrupt leadership. While Yahweh is promising blessing to the obedient, he also summons devouring forces against the rebellious. This sets up a contrast between faithful covenant holdouts, Israelites and joined servants, and corrupt leaders who will be judged. Isaiah 56:10. His watchmen are blind. They are all ignorant. They are all dumb dogs. They cannot bark. Sleeping, lying down, loving to slumber. Explanation. His watchmen equals Israel's spiritual leaders, prophets, priests, teachers, elders. Yahweh calls them blind, ignorant, dumb dogs who can't bark. They do not warn the people. They do not guard the flock. They are spiritually asleep. In the context of the scattered tribes today, this condemns false Israelite teachers, pastors, and church leaders who refuse to warn leaders who love comfort more than truth. Because the watchmen are asleep, the beasts, foreign powers, false doctrines, oppression, devour the people. This is why the awakening remnant must be taught by true shepherds aligned with covenant truth. Isaiah 56:11. Yea, they are greedy dogs which can never have enough, and they are shepherds that cannot understand. They all look to their own way, everyone for his gain, from his quarter. Explanation. The corruption goes deeper. These blind leaders are greedy, never satisfied. They call themselves shepherds but lack understanding. They care about their own gain, titles, money, influence, numbers, not the true restoration of Israel. This applies to false Israelite camps driven by profit and pride, church systems feeding off Israel's ignorance, leaders who will not teach the true identity, true law, or true covenant. They are condemned because their self-serving leadership blocks the people from repentance and obedience and leaves Israel vulnerable to judgment. Isaiah 56:12. Come ye, say they, I will fetch wine, and we will fill ourselves with strong drink, and tomorrow shall be as this day, and much more abundant. Explanation. The wicked leaders live in careless luxury like everything will continue endlessly. They are spiritually drunk, chasing pleasure, ignoring prophecy. They think tomorrow will just be more of the same gain, the same comfort, the same sin, with no judgment. But Yahweh has already summoned the beasts to devour. Their complacency is proof of their blindness. While they drink and relax, destruction is coming. For Israel, this is a warning. Don't follow these leaders. Return to covenant. Listen to the word, not to men who promise endless comfort. Summary: servants, strangers, and Israelite government. Isaiah 56, read through the lens of the exclusive doctrine of Israel, teaches Yahweh is dealing primarily with Israel, especially the outcasts of the scattered tribes. Sabbath keeping, justice, and obedience are crucial signs of those who will be restored. Strangers, Gentiles, who truly submit to Yahweh through Israel's covenant order are allowed to join themselves to him, serve him, love his name, keep the Sabbath, bring acceptable offerings. These strangers do not replace Israel, nor do they become Israel by blood. They are servants and worshipers under Israelite government in the kingdom order. Israel remains the covenant people, the priestly nation, the central focus of gathering and restoration. Strangers who submit can dwell under that rule, serve, worship, and rejoice. But the throne, the covenant, and the inheritance belong to Jacob.